What if you could make 5 small shifts that produce massive results? I heard Tim Ferriss once say, you don't always have to put 10x effort in to get 10x results. Sometimes you can make small shifts, that strategy shifts that yield massive results. And that's what we're talking about today. 5 things you can shift in 2017 that's going to show exponential growth. I know because I practiced some of these. Today you're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and everybody needs a good coach in life. Hey guys, this is Coach Micheal Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, Super Coach. Welcome on back to 2017. So glad to see you. So glad to be back with you. Coach took some time off, went up to the mountains, went off and got Brandon Ray married. During the break, he went to the mountains. I went down to Clearwater, Florida, got to spend some time just getting my mind right for this year, ready to come back, serve you. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe sometimes that you don't have to overhaul the whole thing, but you got to make small shifts that have a significant impact. You hear me say a lot in most of my talks that you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't stir the pot when you're inside the bowl. And so this time of year in January, lots of people want me to come speak. We know the word January means new beginning, means new start, right? Means a chance for you to come back into the new year and roll into the new year. And now you got a chance to do it all over again, man. For some people, they come back this year and be the exact same as they had last year. There'll be no change, no improvement, no difference. But for some people, man, 2017 is going to be the year that you absolutely crush it. So today what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm talking about a lot this week. I'm talking about this with Churchill Mortgage on Thursday at a big event they're having. I'm talking about it on Friday for Iberia Bank at a big event they're having, as these small shifts that build massive change, massive results. I want you thinking this. A good plastic surgeon never makes more than 2.2 millimeters of change, and they never make more than 7 changes. They make small shifts to produce big results. When I look back in my business, when I look back in my life, sometimes it was just changing the way I saw one thing. Sometimes it was bringing a solution to a problem that nobody had brought. Sometimes it was taking a program and just tweaking it just a little bit that produced massive results. I'll talk about some of the things we did this year. So let's go ahead and get into this. 5 shifts you can make this year to show some very significant results in your business. Number 1, you got to shift how you see what you see when you look at yourself. Now, it's important, so don't miss this. I did a talk this year for the Elam real estate team called Priceless, and it was built around of King and Country song named Priceless, about what you see when you look in the mirror. And here's what I said. You don't see yourself as a big-time real estate agent. And because you don't see yourself as a big-time agent, you have small inputs that produce small outputs. You have got to change what you see when you look in the mirror. Do you see a big-time person? Do you see a person of interest? Do you see a professional? What do you see when you look? You got to change how you see. For example, you may have to make a shift in how you see from a bureaucratic thinking to an entrepreneurial thinking, to a person that gets paid on results versus a person that just shows up. Okay? You got to see yourself in the transformation business. You got to see yourself as a person of interest. You got to see yourself as one of the top people in your industry. You got to see yourself as the expert. You got to see yourself as a must-have versus a nice-to-have, okay? So you hear me say it over and over and over. Money only changes hands when problems are solved. You got to start seeing yourself as being the best in the world at what it is you do. So the first shift you got to make is you got to shift how you see what you see. For many years, I saw myself. I remember when I left my small town of Woodbury, Tennessee, and I went to college at 23,000. I saw myself as a country bumpkin from a small town that was not educated. And because I saw myself that way, guess what I did? Is I was intimidated. I wore a hat, okay? Didn't have any confidence. Sat on the back row. Didn't talk to girls, didn't talk to guys, didn't talk to anybody, didn't join any fraternities, didn't do anything, because guess what I saw when I looked at myself? Is I saw myself as an uneducated person. I did not have the confidence to go out there and do it. And so the first thing a lot of you guys got to do is you got to change how you see yourself. Now, let me take real estate, for example, because you know I coach lots of realtors. You got to quit seeing yourself as a realtor. There's 1 million realtors. It's 100,000 financial, 238,000 financial advisors. 1 million real estate agents, 100,000 mortgage originators. How many insurance people out there? You got to start seeing yourself. This is called the single shift and double shift. You got to start seeing yourself as an entrepreneur. That's a person that takes lower level resources to higher levels of productivity. You got to start seeing yourself as a person that's in the transformation business. You got to start seeing yourself as a person of influence. Okay? And once you start seeing yourself as an entrepreneur that has a very special skill set in something. Okay, I'm really an entrepreneur. I got real estate business. I got greatness factories. I got a coaching business. I'm an author, speaker, coach. Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a person that takes low-level resources to high levels of productivity. I just happen to have a very special skill set as it relates to motivating and coaching people. So I'm not a coach. I'm an entrepreneur. Look at that shift there. You're not a realtor. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business person that has a very special differentiated, special, unique skill set in something that solves a problem for people in the world. So the first shift you got to make in 2017 is how you look at you. You are a business owner. You are a business. You're not building a business. You are a business, right? So that's shift number 1. I'm going to give you 2 through 5 when I come back, but let me give you some kryptonite. You know, a good coach always finds a kryptonite. This is the one thing holding you back. You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. So you get more and more and more, okay? You can't see which inputs to change. Now, when I was in Clearwater, I was studying habits of self-made billionaires. These are people that make create $1 billion of value. There's 800 of those. And one of the things it said was that a billionaire has the ability to take lots of information and draw association between one thing and another, but it was the quality of the inputs that decided the quality of the outputs. You understand what I'm saying? Is what is pouring into you, that's an input. That determines the quality of your output. So you got garbage in, you got garbage out. You got lots of smarts in, you got lots of smart out. You got little in, you got little out. You got big in, you got big out. Everybody follow me here? The quality of the inputs determines the quality of the output. So in essence, you can't go big if little got you. You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. And guess what? You put little things in, you're going to solve little things out. We come back to segment number 2. I'm going to give you shifts 2, 3, and 4. You watch a Super Coach, and I'm Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Gone are the days where you just buy a book. When you pre-order my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my 11th book, my most comprehensive book, let me tell you what I'm going to give to you the minute you pre-order. I'm going to give you 5 hours of coaching from me on the book. I'm going to give you access to Monster Producer, my biggest coaching program, online, live, every 30 days for 6 months. I'm going to give you access to my Total Growth Academy, over 400 coaching sessions. I'm going to give you 7 webinars with me where you can interact with me on every chapter of the book. Go get Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book. Welcome back, Super Coach. 5 small shifts. You can download this podcast. Get it on iTunes. Get it on Stitcher. Get it on Android. Get it on. Hey, listen to it's a vodcast and a podcast. Give me some love, man. I'm seeing the increase in this podcast. I'm trying to give you some mojo. And when you're low on swag, you can borrow from somebody else, man. Let me give you some swag. Richard Neese, D. Richard Hodges, Jason Wolbert, the blue-collar coach, Will Webb, one of my top coaching clients, Ivan Velasquez, Danielle Brandon, good to see you, Takesha Bromell, Dale Childress, Shane Ray. Hey, don't have to be boring, does it, Shane? Sean Wright, thank you. Okay, aloha, my friends, aloha. I want to say shout out to everybody who's out there watching the coach today. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody believing in me. I appreciate you letting me be your coach. And if you haven't bought my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, man, we just got the what do you call that, Brandon? The jacket of the book today. Jacket looks great. It's got a great pop to it. Listen, I've been reading through this book, my own book, and I'm telling you, it is without a doubt the best book I've ever written. It's got the most content. It's got every single thing I've ever coached in. So if you haven't gotten that, $29.99 gets you a whole bunch of stuff for free, and I really encourage you. It is my life's work to say everybody needs a coach in life. Right, Chris Gregory? I look forward to seeing you pretty soon, my man and monster producer. What are we talking today, guys? We're talking small shifts that have big impact. Now, I'm a big believer in a lot of effort, in pushing hard, but sometimes in my life, it's stepping back. It's stepping back, right? And it's stepping back. Brandon just gave me the book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, the cover, which is looking really, really good. It's got some serious pop to it. Sometimes in my life, this is what I did over the break. I went down to Florida. Got along with my thoughts. I got to spend some time with some key people. I got to get my mind right. I got to step back and think about what I wanted to accomplish in 2017, what my agreement with the planet is in 2017, what I was supposed to be acting on in 2017. And I didn't come back and say we need to overhaul this business. I came back with the focus and said, look, there's just some shifts, just a few shifts we need to make, and we can do great things with this business. But guess what? I needed that clarity. What's the phrase, Matt Crane? You can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You need another person to push you. So shift number one is you got to change the way you see you. We did this episode called Priceless. And man, it was one of the best episodes I did all year, which I did for a coaching client, is because we were trying to figure out why ain't these people producing at the level they can produce, because the way they see themselves. Just like I saw myself as a country bumpkin at 19 years old, I didn't have any confidence. When I went through a terrible breakup at 25 years old, lost every bit of my confidence, saw myself as an insufficient loser, had to change the way I saw myself. When I was coaching, I didn't see myself as a championship coach until I decided I was going to be a championship coach. So I saw myself as not strong enough, right? And I had to improve those. So the first shift you got to make is how you see yourself. The second shift you got to make is how you see your work. Now, this is critical. I see work as the distribution channel for your God-given talents. I do not see work as a job. I do not see work as a way to survive and put food on the table. I see work as your calling, your agreement with the world, your agreement with the planet. I see that God gave you talent. You are to take that talent and solve other people's problems and add value and create more, okay? And just think about what it says in the Bible. To whom much is given, much is expected. But to who took and used the talent, more talent was given. To the person that didn't use it, that talent was taken away. Are you leveraging your talent? So number two is you got to shift how you see your work. Some of you do things every single day, and you've made it a transaction. It's a transactional business. They're just people. They're just numbers. It don't matter. And we got to get back to transformation. I think you got to get in the transformation business. And the more people you can transform, right, the more people you can transform, the more people who are going to fight for you in the market. Okay, and I shared this with my staff this morning. Jorge, you're going to like this. I was reading the book of Luke in my Bible study, and it was talking about how Jesus was going from city to city, sharing the message and the good news. He had 12 disciples with him, and he had 3 women, Mary Magdalene, right, Joanna, and Susanna. And Susanna was the business manager of Herod. Okay, and here's what it says. Because those women were cured of diseases and evil spirits, what were they willing to do for Jesus? It says it right here. Hey, I brought the good book with me. Here's what it says. They were willing to contribute their own resources to support his mission. Now, when you change the way you see your work and you get in the transformation business, you see your work as your calling. You're distributing your talent to the world. You're solving other people's problems with your talent. And when you help them get to a better state, hey, sounds like a State Farm commercial, doesn't it? When you help them get to a better state, when you help your clients transform their life, guess what they're going to be willing to do for you? They're going to contribute their own resources to advancing your mission. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Their time, their energy, their money, their influence. Think about a person that changed your life. What are you willing to do for that person? You spend your time, your money, your energy, your resources, your creativity, your influence to advance their mission. Okay? So what do we got to do? We got to start seeing our work as the ability to transform other people's lives. And when we help our clients, when Ivan Velasquez helps a person get to a better state, find a better car, when Will Webb is able to deliver on the insurance, when Shane Ray comes out to my house and does the air conditioning units and they function better, we get to a better state, we're going to have an endearment toward you. And when we have that endearment towards you, guess what we're going to do? We're going to use our own resources to advance your mission. So second shift you got to make is you got to change the way you see your work. Third shift, then I'm going to go to kryptonite. You got to have a shift in how you spend your time. Low value, high value. To know the highest use of your time in 2017, here's what you got to know. You got to first know what is the dominant focus. What is a single tangible outcome you would like to drive in a 12-month cycle as measured in 30-day windows? That's a championship, man. That's a championship. What championship are you pushing toward? Once you know where your championship is, then you're focused on what's the highest use of your time. We call them high-value activities. My championship this year is 250 people in Monster Producer, either Monster Producer, Mega Monster, Monster Insurance, Monster Mortgage. I want 250 people in my biggest coaching program. I want a minimum of 250 people in my online academy. Okay, these are my biggest focus. All of my time, all of my energy is pushing people to these things, to get involved in these things, okay? I want to sell a minimum of 10, 20, 30,000, 1 million copies of Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. These are my focal points. So guess what? Every day I got a chance. High value, low value. I got to change the way I see time. We can't stop it. We can't slow it down. We can't speed it up. Now, when I came to the office today, I wrote down 3 numbers on the board. 14,600, 18,250, and I think the other one was 22,250, something like that. And I brought my team in and I said, do you know what those numbers represent? They didn't know. I said, if I live to be 80, I got 14,600 more days left in my life on planet Earth. That's it. If I live to be 80, I got 14,600 more days. If I live to be 90, I got 18,000 more days. If I live to be 100, I got 21,000 more days. You know what that means? We got business to tend to and things to do and people to impact. What if I counted that number down every day? What if my goal is 100, to live to 100? What now I got 21,249. You understand what I'm saying here? We got things to do. We got places to go. We got people to impact. We got actions to take. We ain't got time for stagnation, man. We got to get going. We got to get moving because how we see time is critical. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here on this one. Okay, what are we doing? We're changing the way we see ourselves. We're changing the way we see our work. We're changing the way we see our time. You don't have discipline to map out and attack high-value activity. Therefore, you spend large amounts of your time doing what? Messing around, goofing off, low value. You're not moving your ball down the field. You're not putting your best foot forward, man. And you got to change the way you see time. When I come back in the final segment, I'm going to give you the final 2, a shift in who you spend time with, and a shift in the size of problems you solve in 2017. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. How do you find the right coach for you? There's personal coaches, there's life coaches, there's business coaches, there's spiritual coaches. Here's the deal. You got to find a coach you have an affinity with. You believe the same things. I believe trained people always outperform untrained people. I believe coach people always outperform uncoached people. You got to find a coach that you think brings the knowledge and the skill and the desire and the confidence to you that will work for you. I would love to be that coach through my new Total Growth Academy. Go to CoachBurt.com, click on virtual coaching, and get coached by me every day on any device, anywhere on planet Earth. Super Coach, baby. Everybody needs a coach in life. Welcome back to Super Coach every Tuesday, typically. I'm going to be somewhere in the world tomorrow, so would do Super Coach today. I want to give a shout out to some of the greats on here. Coach Rick Insell, one of my mentors in my life. There's very few days, Coach Insell, that I don't mention you, don't quote you, and so thank you for that. John Brubaker, Jason Wolbert, Trey Lewis, Don Borgeson, the monster producer, Roy Frazier, who's in Total Growth Academy. Guys, I want to thank you for coming to me every single week. We got a Super Coach Live here from the Greatness Factor where you step into your greatness, and today we're talking small shifts that drive massive results. And sometimes it's a change in the way you see the problem. I remember Covey used to say the way you see the problem is the problem. The way you see the problem is the problem. So the first three I gave is you got to change the way you see you. You don't see yourself as a big-time person. That's the first problem you got. Number two, you got to change the way you see your work. It's not just your job. It's your mission. It's your driving force, okay? You got to change the way, the shift in how you see time between high value and low value, okay? Fourth thing you got to do is you got to shift. You got to shift in who you spend time with. Now, this is critical. When I was down in Clearwater, Florida last week, I spent time with a gentleman that drove huge results in his life, and I was able to just ask questions. Now, I've only spent time with the few people that I think are self-actualized. A self-actualized person is a person that when their basic needs are met, food, shelter, water, is that they are so interested in reaching their potential. They are so hungry. They're so in a sprint. I think Coach Insell's a person watching this. He's a person like that. I remember watching how he worked when we wrote that book, The Anatomy of Winning, together. And I asked him one day, why the push? Why are you going? And he said, maybe, just maybe, I have 20 more years of productivity left in my life. Maybe, just maybe. And I'm not going to waste 1 second of it. Okay, this morning I found out my grandfather, Elmas Tenpenny, who was a great role model to me, passed away this morning at about 10 o'clock. And I began going through, he's been fighting off several things, and I began thinking about all the lessons I learned from my grandfather. He always told me when you got to want to, you can always find a how to. He's the person who always said if you eat banana pudding every day for 10 years, you eventually get tired of eating it. I watched him get up and hustle his whole life. And so we're going to be burying him this Wednesday, and I'm going to say some things at the eulogy. And I was thinking, how could I properly eulogize a man that meant so much to my life and so much to my mom's life and her sister's life and the grandkids' life? What do you say about that life? And I started thinking about how much time I have left on planet Earth and the sense of urgency that I've got and the people I want to spend time with. And for you got to make a shift in who you're spending time with. And what I mean by that, we call that the aspirational contact, is that until you begin to reach up and you begin to spend time with people that are performing at much higher levels than you, your think just stays limited, guys. And I don't see enough of this. I don't see salespeople spending time with the number one salesperson in the company. I don't see coaches that haven't won championships spending time with championship coaches. I don't see people spending time that make $100,000 with people that make $1 million. I don't see $1 million people spending time with $100 million people. You got to change. You got to have a shift in who you spend time with this week. So here's my goal. It's part of my selling system every week. I put one aspirational contact on there. That's one person I would love to just drink deep from their knowledge. One person I'd like to learn from. One person I'd like to go study. On February 4th, I'm going to Memphis to watch Garth Brooks. And I'm taking my notepad, man. I want to sit there and watch how Garth Brooks connects with his audience. And I'm picking people all over the world. I want to spend time with that girl. I want to spend time with that guy. Because what am I doing? I'm interested in my potential. I'm interested in driving. And it's sad when people ain't interested in their potential. It's sad when you're more interested in another person's potential than they're interested in. So number 4 shift you got to make out of the 5 is you got to have a shift in who you spend time with this year. Sometimes spending time with just one person brings you tremendous clarity, tremendous motivation, okay? Now let me give you number 5. And this may be one of my favorites. You got to have a shift in the size of problems you solve in 2017. I listen to the size of problems people tackle in a day, okay? I listen to this, and the size of problems you tackle in a day says a lot about your thinking. If you get up and get caught up in petty, little thought processes, solving little bitty, minuscule problems, that says a lot about where your thinking is. That says a lot about where your thinking is, because there's a lot of big problems out there in the world, right? And when you start saying, I'm here to solve big problems, here's my talent. Here's the problem out there in the world that I'm going to solve, okay? And I'm not tackling a little bitty problems, okay? So I went back to my hometown for all the people watching from Woodbury, and I bought a building. We added a greatness factory. We got people working out there. We're adding men's workouts. We're having kids workouts. We had a church contact us this week about renting the space. What problems am I trying to solve? They need energy. They need activity. They need employment. They need good things happening in that small town. So what did I do? I said, man, I'll go back and solve that problem. At least try to solve it. I'm getting ready to donate a bunch of these books, Small Towns and Big Dreams, to all the kids in my hometown of Cannon County. You know, I'm trying to solve bigger problems. I'm trying to wake up in the world and say, how can we solve bigger problems versus little problems? What's the problem? Maybe it's small think. Maybe it's lack of confidence. Money changes hands when problems are solved. And for all the people out there, you got to get interested in solving bigger problems. And you can't do that if you're constantly just focused on little bitty, tiny things that don't matter. 5 shifts you got to make in 2017, guys, if you want to get master results. Change the way you see you. Change the way you see your work. Okay? Change the way you see your time. Change the way, change who you spend time with. And number 5, change which problems you're solving. You can wake up and fish for bluegill in Percy Priest Lake, or you can fish for blue marlin in the Gulf of Mexico. You solving little ones, or you solving big ones? Get interested in solving bigger problems. Listen, ask this question. Every dollar that's in your pocket right now started in the pocket of somebody else. You solved their problem. You created value. They exchanged money for that value. Create more value by going to work on you. You know, I was in a restaurant today that had just a few people in it at lunch, and I was sitting there thinking, they had a bunch of people back there cooking, a few people out there helping, but no customers. And you know what I said they got to do? They got to create a better product, man. When you create a better product, it's attractive to the market, and people are interested in you versus you going out there and chasing people to be interested. Just get better. And when you get better, people are going to get interested. And when you get interested, you're going to be able to help more people. And when you help more people, what's going to happen? They're going to go out there and advance your mission because you help them get to a better state. So dig in with your clients this year. Help your people get to a better state, and they will be willing to go out and sing from the rooftops about you and your message. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. One thing holding you back, the size of problems you see. An attacker so small. This keeps you chasing bluegills versus blue marlins. You got to wake up and ask this question. Who would write me the largest check, as Dan Sullivan used to say, to solve their problem? Who would write us the largest check for us to solve their problem with our talent? Every single week I come to you live from the Greatness Factory. Okay, special shout out. This one goes out to my grandfather, Amos Tenpenny. Thank you for being such a great grandfather. Thank you for being such a great father to my mother and her sisters. And the life you live is one that I aspire to live as a man of integrity, a man that got up every single day and hustled, a man that taught me incredibly valuable lessons. My favorite one is if you gotta want to. If you gotta want to, man, you can find a how to. And I've lived that way my whole life. If you want more coaching with me, guys, got Monster Producer this week. You want to audit that program for free. First one's on me. Come sit in and experience the Monster Producer class. My goal is 250 this year. All my monsters can help me. I want 250 people on the Total Growth Academy. All the people in there can help us. And if you're not in Total Growth Academy, go to TotalGrowthAcademy.com and get coaching from me every single day. You know why, guys? Everybody, and I mean everybody, needs a good coach in life. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, and I get asked all of the time, what does a good coach do? See, a good coach should engage you in a set of systematic behaviors that allows you to do something tomorrow you can't do today. They should find and fill your missing structures. They help you break through that ceiling of success that you can't break through on your own. And that, my friend, is why everybody needs a good coach in life. Check out Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com.